it's been a little while since I've done the first test firing of the Liberator 12K. The point of that was a little bit in the vein of Royal Nonesuch's destructive testing. So he'd done a little bit of destructive testing on pipe shotguns and found that pipe is surprisingly durable. So out of mine, I decided to fire the 4 rounds that I have laying around, some of the hottest stuff I can find. And it looks like so far pipe will hold up to firing 3-inch Magnum number 4 buckshot, which is pretty good. Next, I would really like to test some 3-inch turkey loads. They're the biggest thing that I can find. They have 2 ounces of lead behind them. So if anything is going to cause the gun to fail, it'll be that. So next, part of what I came to from that result is that it's really hard to extract the shells, and that if you want to do so successfully and easily, you really should be using a ramrod to remove them, or the quick reload method from, that Royal Nonesuch had pulled in from, I want to say, Cryptic Cricket. I'm not positive, but you still need a ramrod long enough to run down the whole length of your barrel. So what I've come to is this. So the idea is, instead of having one barrel that you have to, have a long ramrod for, if you want to, you could have a little ramrod and have a revolver and push them shells out one at a time. This is what we're going for with the Revolver 12 gauge. Is you have these individual cylinders in here, which you could probably just shoot them like this on your own and be just fine. But I want to put them in a revolver so it's easy to chamber the next round. You don't have to hang on to one of these and fiddle around with it and worry about shells falling out and stuff. But they lock into place, and they're not going anywhere, right? Yeah, that's good enough for now. Anyway, here, let me show you the basic idea. So I slide out the barrel. Everything fits very poorly right now. And the cylinder comes out and turns, and eventually, there you go, falls back into line there. So I'm using some angle iron, which is nice and rigid, to line up all of these pieces that I've got. Because these are all just totally, separate bits. Like, that's just holding on to a few different pieces. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this idea and I'm going to borrow from the Amura revolver, the Zigzag revolver, and so as you actuate the barrel, uncock it, it's going to pull this cylinder out, rotate it, and push it back lined up so you're on your next shell. Goals include the ability to remove this cylinder. It's not strictly necessary, but it's something that I plan and want to do. So to do that, you're going to have to be able to move this barrel past the position, or have to unhook something, and you can move that past the position where you can actually remove the cylinder and swap it out. So this is the original cylinder that I had designed. You can see it's just a little fluted kind of deal there. It's got 6 shots and uses a 3-inch or 3/4 inch pipe in the middle to rotate on. So if I, it rotates relatively smoothly on here. It's nice, squishing my finger. It's a nice big diameter, and will rotate pretty well. So yesterday I spent 7.5 hours printing out a Zigzag design. So here's just a little 1/4 inch pin that I'm using, for example, but it might be upside down, but anyway, I'll show you. So it goes up in the track and down in the track, up in the track and down in the track, up in the track, whoop, it's a little snug there, up in the track, down in the track, up in the track, down in the track, and it will rotate one cylinder. Let me show you here. So this index here, right, should rotate completely between out and then in. So we go, oops, down and then up, and I have a new cylinder. Down, up, I have a new cylinder. So I should be able to index them that way. And I might need a little bit of like a funnel-ish shape on the 1-inch pipes to make sure they slide over the cylinders properly, but they should do it successfully. So this is my first test of the cylinder with the Zigzag style on it, which is borrowed from an old Mauser revolver and inspired by the Zigzag revolver that Imura made. So, things that I noticed in printing this. So this is all one piece right now. And these overhangs I printed without support, which may not have been the greatest idea. But I printed it without support, and it's kind of jagged. You would need some sanding, blah, 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 right? So that kind of works. It just takes a little too much hand fitting that I want to get rid of. So I think ultimately, I'm going to print this in 2 pieces and then stick them together. That way you're only printing on material that's already supported from underneath. Just to show you. So you can see it's the same size, just has that track around it. Which is okay, I just got to reprint my pieces to be a little higher. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a rod back here with a pin, basically. It's going to be a rod from the front running back up underneath this channel to drop that pin into the track. And I think that'll work pretty well. So yeah, I think that's kind of it for now. I do have some of the pieces that I'd like to show you. I might record later on if you want to keep watching, but that's the basic idea of where I'm going. Is that we want to have a revolver here, and we're going to use the Zigzag design to actuate the cylinders and line everything up and have a lot of fun with a new 3D printed shotgun that will take 6-round mags. So anyway, that's it for now. Thanks.